letter then states this is going to be a rehab facility. So in regards to, as per our last conversation, is it the whole property, or are some of these people still going to be there in their practices, like the textile, the recyclers, like, or are they going to form part of Mabewana Wellness Centre? Is that this is an empty space. It's not empty now,
Yes.
but it's an empty space. Remember we said on July 18th,
Yes.
we're going to set up the cleaning. So it's the first activation where we're going to clean the whole place. We're going to come with scrubbing brushes, If we have to pull this thing out, we pull it out. And we're cleaning this whole thing, we're pulling out that gutter thing there, and then we're gonna come together, put stuff together, and then we're gonna say, okay, we've got 10 rand. With our 10 rand, we're gonna say, okay, let's buy paint, let's buy the bed or materials, wood, sponge, we sponge beds. We know we've got 6 beds. We're preparing the ground.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, as much as we want to run the programs, you cannot run the program and then the person's going to go home. So we need to decide if this is an inpatient institute here or it's outpatient. And then we need to make sure we understand what our needs are, our equipment needs, our academic needs.
Yes.
We need to know, do they need paper? Where are we getting our paper from? Where are we getting our books, our pens? I think this is where this conversation needs to drive to, because ultimately we can be as ambiguous as we want to say we want to change, heal the world like Michael Jackson. But at the end of the day, next week there's going to be another problem.
Here are 5 key ways that healthcare organizations can gradually integrate trauma-informed care into their practices to help patients and staff. First, build awareness and generate buy-in. Involve both staff and patients in adopting a trauma-informed approach. Second, invest in a trauma-informed workforce. Hire staff that embrace trauma-informed care and provide training not only for clinical staff, but also for non-clinical employees like front desk workers or security guards, who are often the face of your organization. Next, create an environment that is safe and welcoming for patients and staff. Engage patients in meaningful ways. Ask how they feel and listen. You can also build trust by involving them in their own treatment planning. Finally, identify and treat trauma. Consider a screening approach that works for your patients and ensure that treatments and referral sources are available.
One thing you haven't mentioned is teenage pregnancy. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things, and then the girl has been abused and now she's been kicked off. You need to become a halfway house to facilitate them going to adapt, for instance, and other institutions and organizations that deal with, let's say, adapt deals with the women who have been abused. They can take them that side. Then we know there's the child welfare for children who are, because there's parents who are going out partying and whatever. So if somebody reports that bad parent, but it's not being dealt with here. It can be a working space, but we need to start sending out letters to these people and saying, look, this is where we're situated. Please can we have your attention? Please can we have a walk-in office here? And then we will send you these people. But here, we need a core root focus. And if the core root focus means we coin it as behavioral readjustment facility. That's the blanket. But overall, we know, okay, here's a qualified trauma and addiction recovery, or let's say a recovery specialist. Recovery, addiction, trauma, behavior, all of that fall under recovery. So now you've got a department that's filled. So now you guys will talk that, I don't talk that. I'm still in recovery. See, my counselor has 7 to 8 years now. Yes. Now, yeah.
It's important to understand that everyone in the world has addictions, or rather natural addictions, to things that are good, like food, water, and sleep. These natural addictions are important for our health and survival, and without them, we would not hunger or crave the things we need to survive. Now, we aren't exactly born with these natural addictions. Our body creates them. Let's look at an example. When you bite into an apple, your brain says, "Yum." Your brain recognizes that this apple is good for you. It has nutrition, vitamins, and gives your body the energy it needs to survive. Whenever the brain recognizes something that's good, it releases a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine causes you to experience pleasure. It's what makes you feel good, like when biting into an apple. The brain releases this dopamine in order to teach the body that this is healthy and good for your survival, and that it should remember to do it again. Now, there are other things we do that can release the pleasurable dopamine, like playing video games, exercising, or reading a good book. However, the amount of dopamine released during these activities is less than what's released when we eat food. The brain does this so it can recognize which is more important. So if you go 2 days without reading a book, or 2 days without eating food, your body is going to crave the food over the book. As such, your brain creates what's called a hierarchy of survival, which ranks how important each of these things is to your survival. Now, there are some things that will not cause the release of dopamine, like eating soap or punching yourself in the face. The brain knows that these things are not good and therefore does not release the pleasurable dopamine because your brain does not want you to do it again. Now, let's look at alcohol, marijuana, tobacco, and other drugs. These are all classified carcinogens, proven to cause cancer and other fatal diseases. Now, your brain should recognize that these things are harmful to your body. However, these substances have special chemical characteristics that fool the brain into releasing dopamine, oftentimes in much greater amounts than the body has ever experienced before. Because of this, the body is fooled into thinking that these things are good and important, sometimes even more important than food, water, or sleep, and consequently hijacks the #1 spot in your survival hierarchy. So now, if you go 2 days without eating or 2 days without drinking alcohol, your body will actually crave the alcohol over the food.
But I have the passion to serve. So the only role I can play is serve. I can't counsel another addict. Then we've got Fazan, who was here last time, who now is physiologist consciousness. He's got 3 degrees. Now let's use him to apply. He's got a degree in teaching as well. So now let's use him to now educate them about their physiologist consciousness. You see, that's a different department. Right? Now we're going into module education. Then the third one, now the next person I bring is going to be in sports. You see what I'm saying? So physical education, making them understand. Because now we're going to say somebody from Nyaupe, and you'll give examples. You're going to say somebody who's been doing Nyaupe for 13 years or 10 years. Now you're going to put him in a physical intense program. This person has not detoxed. This person has not built his body up to a particular size.